Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, peeps? So in this episode, we have Derek, aka Hometown, and we talk about what he learned from hosting his first event, as well as how he draws inspiration and knowledge by attending other events in the area.
Yes, and we also talk about some cool upcoming events that are going to happen during the summer, as well as how creatives can support one another. So let's dive into this intro and let's get started. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Roberto Guido.
And my name is Marissa Lewis.
And together we are
the Dos Cocos Locos.
And welcome to our podcast.
So our goal with this podcast is to drop as much coconut fire, which is our way of saying life/business knowledge bombs, for creatives that don't necessarily know much about life or business, through conversations with one another as well as with other fellow creatives and dope people.
Our story has a lot of twists and turns, but basically we started by selling coconuts at the beach, and now we have our own photography and videography business. And it's through these conversations that we were able to really learn how to navigate this thing called life. Enjoy. Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up,
What's up, peeps? So welcome to another episode of the Dos Cocos Locos podcast.
Yes.
And today we have Derek, aka I Am Hometown.
Yes.
How's it going, man?
It's good, man.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast, man. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Dude, honestly, we're excited. So like what I said, we kind of start every podcast the same way, and then we kind of just see where it goes. More like conversation based, but in one sentence, he's like, oh, man. In one sentence, it can be as long or as short as you want. What is it that you do?
All right, in one sentence. What I do is I curate events, and I'm also a recording artist as well, but I kind of manage like a whole collective of creatives at the same time called Blue Zone. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
How did you get into, because like we're trying to start getting into curating events, not like to your level, but
Your level
is like far surpasses what I think we're capable of right now. But how did you get into curating events?
It started with music first. I mean, naturally, you want to put out a body of work, and then you want to perform that body of work. So we end up throwing like release parties.
Okay.
So kind of like throwing a release party, I go straight to Google. I was like, how to throw a release party?
Wow, dude,
Every template I've seen on Google, I was like, I'm checking this out. But you start throwing a release party, and then it kind of has the same concept as like any other event. You know, you have to have a location. You have to have some type of like hosting or some type of, entry, performance, booking, and all of that. So it's kind of all ties into it. And doing that with multiple artists on a team, you kind of like, okay, you start seeing, you go to other events, you get inspired by, what you see out there in the world. And then that's when the ideas start flowing. You're like, okay, I want to do something like this.
Gotcha.
So
That's
really
dope,
cool.
man.
What's an event that, it doesn't even have to be like local, but what's an event that you're like, wow, I hope that one of my events, or do you want your events to grow into something like massive?
yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I do. I want it to grow into something massive. You know what I'm saying? I want it to grow, or at least have a massive impact, if that makes sense. So, like I kind of, with my monthly event, BeatsNChill, is basically just a platform to showcase the producer. But we have like live performances with rappers or singers. We have, sometimes we'll introduce a live artist to paint on stage, or DJs or whatever. But I kind of wanted this to be something that makes Tampa a place to go.
Right.
There's so much going on in Tampa, whether it's, new things being built or old things just being renovated and something fresh.
Yeah.
But I wanted to also create other things in the art and music scene that, when I bring my cousins down here, you know what I'm saying? They could have a good time. So it's just like, I want that to be, like a staple in the community. But I would love it to branch out to, have an impact somewhere else as well.
Gotcha.
Where?
Honestly, I will leave that. I'm gonna leave that up to the higher ups to see like where. But I want to say that maybe I was introduced to an opportunity to say, hey man, you want to do a BeatsNChill in LA? Because I went to LA back in January. Yeah, I went to LA for the first time. I went to LA for the first time in January. First time on a flight.
Wait,
cool.
first time on a plane ever?
Wait.
And you went all the way across the country? Like you have to like Atlanta.
That's how you do it. You're like,
So, but we went out there for this convention called NAMP, and it's like a music expo convention. Anybody that like with the mic, the company that created this microphone is going to be out there.
Wow.
So I encourage everyone to go. It's free.
What's it called?
It's called NAM, or NAM or NAM.
Okay.
It's NAMM.
Okay.
But they have it every year in January in LA. It's an amazing thing to go to. Meet so many people.
So like you just start talking to some people. They're like, hey, like you want to do Beats and Chill here? Or?
The good thing is a lot of times with people in Tampa, they either just moved here and then, or they want to leave and live somewhere else. Gotcha. So it was a guy that I actually featured on my event months ago, like last year, and he moved out to LA. He actually moved. He just moved out right before I came back to Tampa, and he was like, "Yo, bro, you ever thought about doing Beats and Chill out in LA? I'm going to be living here. I could possibly get a residency and we can work something out." And I was like, man, that opened my mind to saying, man, if I had a monthly event not only just in Tampa, like with Beats and Chill, but in LA and then possibly Atlanta, and then possibly New York, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It could create an opportunity to where now I get to provide more opportunities for not just other producers, but those who I know from here. I can make a call and be like,
network.
Hey, I want to get you out, do your first show in LA or do your first show in New York and stuff like that. So that was something that just like had the wheels turning. You know what I'm saying? But that would be kind of like the impact I would love for BeatsNChill to have.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so when are you gonna have your show in
I mean, we working on it. We don't have like 2 conversations, but I'm not rushing it. Just waiting for the right time. I know LA is a whole different beast. You know what I'm saying? Maybe getting that access to a venue like I have here is probably not as easy in LA, but we definitely talks of it. So when it happens, it happens.
Love it.
That is so cool.
That's wild.
That's awesome.
So tell us a little bit more about like your first event that you threw, because we learned a lot from our first event, and we want to see if it kind of like correlates to like your first event.
The first event I threw as far as Beats and Chill, like my first time throwing that was nerve wracking because I didn't know, like, everything sounds good in your head until you have to explain it to somebody.
Yeah.
It's like, I want everybody to like come out and just like watch people look at people play beats. And it's like, what? You're like, oh, let me go back. I'm at work doing overtime writing a notepad. But yeah, I was like, okay, well, I did a release party at the Bricks before, and we had a lot of people come out, and that was just I guess doing a release party was a bit different because it's like everybody already wants to hear the music, so it's easy to get the word out. And it's kind of the concept is pretty easy. He's gonna perform a few cuts from the project. We're gonna play the music, and we're just gonna all invite all the people who on the project, all your friends, family, whatever, right? But with this idea, it was more so, okay, I'm just gonna go and get some of my favorite producers. I'm gonna just tell them, hey, I want you to just kind of play some of what you make at home, play like up to like maybe 30 minutes, just whatever, like kind of DJ on. Say it was kind of weird explaining because I'm not a producer. Right. So because I'm not a producer, I don't know the exact terminology and the lingo that they would feel comfortable with. And also I was nervous too because I'm like, because I'm not a producer, are people gonna like respect the fact that I'm doing this event, right? So I was just really nervous. But every producer was like, "It's amazing! I never did that before. I'm down." Yeah. So that gave me a bit more confidence. But bringing the idea to the venue, they were the ones that was like, "Hey, we like what you did with the release party. If you ever want to do something weekly or monthly, let me know." It's okay, cool. So that was kind of like I didn't really stress too much about finding the
pieces
venue.
were basically there.
Yeah, so it was just like, okay, all right, I have this available. That was like the end of 2015, and I didn't do my first show until August of 2016. So I was like, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah,
like I didn't even have the idea yet. Maybe it didn't hit till like maybe March.
Okay.
And I would just write it out on paper. Like if it makes sense on paper to me, like, okay, this is the person from this time to this time. This is how long their set is. This is how many people I'm expecting based on the size of the venue. And I'm just going to promote on, I'm create a Facebook event, create the social media accounts, and then see what happens. That's basically what I would do with a release party.
Right.
So I did the first event, and I guess based on the relationships I have with just certain people, they just wanted to support. And then when they actually came out and just, you could see the people having a good time, and it was a fresh idea, something they never really done before. It was like, oh, this is cool. Like it just kind of made me feel like amazing. Like I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, that was pretty much like my first event, like how it went. It was like, oh, this is okay. But it's nowhere near now how it is now, is nowhere near how it was when I first started. Just because I learned like just the ins and out of like doing it, like running a show, or making sure the audience is is entertained and not keeping the same thing. Because monthly events and one-off events, pop-ups, they can all be treated. They have to be treated differently. They have to serve different purposes.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's true.
So like in your opinion, what is the key factor to hosting or just throwing like a great event?
The key factor
or factors, whichever ones that you think.
Just knowing your audience, studying. You know what I'm saying? Like I was one of those people that I wore like every hat, right? Because I was like, I'm the person that's booking the talent. I have to book the talent to kind of that's going to fit the vibe that I want. Then I have to know my venue. Like the venue is important. You come to my event, right? My event is at the Bricks. You're not if they serve bad drinks, they're gonna think Beats and Chill serve bad drinks. That's just it just connects that way.
Right. It's all the same thing. On the same plate.
Right.
Yeah.
So my staff, my DJ, my host, my door person, they don't look at that person no different than the bartender and the person who runs the bar.
Right.
Or the security. Like they look at all of us as one staff. So if all of us are together, like creating a moment, and that's pretty much what I want. That's what that was the vision from the get-go. Like Beats and Chill, I wanted to just be every time you come out, I had a good time. Like I had the best drinks ever, and I'll dance like I never thought I would dance before.
Yeah.
Right.
And my friend captured all on video. I want those moments to be at my event.
Gotcha.
And I know that I have to put things in place to allow that to happen. And that just comes with going out to other events. And that's where, people say, oh, support this, that, and the third. Take the time to actually not just go, but take the time to learn and see how other people are doing their thing. Because at the end of the day, it's the same thing. You're going out, I'm paying $10 to come to your event, but I can get inspired by how you set up your stage.
Yeah.
How you set up maybe an installation or something like that.
Or just like talking to someone new.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like
so
that has helped us out a lot.
Absolutely.
To these events,
Absolutely.
Talking to new people, say, hey, this is dope. Let's grab some coffee after. Like for sure.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Hey, man.
That's cool. So what other? I know that you've thrown a couple other events besides Beats and Chill.
I done most of the other events I've done have been more like music, like direct performance, like album release party type stuff. But I've done things with Beats and Chill, like collaborative events.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's DJs and producers, and almost every event has that. So, whether it's been something more with an art event or something more with like some type of pop up, I've collaborated with and done those events, and those are interesting too, because those are like testers to kind of fill out this new experience that you're trying to bring. So
Gotcha.
I've done that, but other than Beats and Chill per se, it's been the festival. That's kind of like what I've been working on, and that festival is kind of like under Beats and Chill, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Under that umbrella, that makes sense.
Right.
Okay.
So,
and when is the festival? What is the festival? Let's talk about it.
Yes.
All right. So the festival is called Tampa Bay Weekend. And I know that 2019 is festival crazy. Like everything's a festival. There's a festival for cupcakes, festival for
margaritas coming up.
Everything. Right? So I mean, there's festivals for everything, which is cool. I just know that sometimes when it gets to be too much of a particular thing, some people don't really take it that serious or take it for what it's like, what you intended it to be. So. With Tampa Beat Weekend, I really wanted to create once again, like a staple for the Tampa community specifically, which is why I named it that. I could have called it Beats and Chill Fest or something, but I wanted to be something that is very, very synonymous with Tampa culture, and really to bring about a 3-day event, basically, that embodies everything with Beats and Chill. Producer, DJ, hip hop, R&B culture. So the first day is it's like a Friday night party. It's like a more festive performances, DJ sets. We have installations, art, gaming, you name it, right? Food, drinks, whatever. So that's usually the first night for all the music lovers. Everyone come out, have a good time. The second day is more competition based. With producers, they usually have what they call a beat battle.
Beat battle.
Right. So they compete. So that's more like competition day.
Yeah.
Where we have producers compete for like a big cash prize and other prizes. And then our third day is more of the social and networking day, where we get to more about the business, workshops on like just more skill based, and also kind of, do more of like a networking questionnaire type of thing. We have panels, we have workshops with, engineers and DJs come in and kind of just, give gems about more tricks of the trade, basically. So all that to embody like for the producer community, because we have a lot of talented producers in the Bay Area. And I wanted to just create the biggest spotlight for it.
Yeah, like a big platform.
Yeah, and I want that to be for people that come that move down here. Like people move to New York to do film or to do whatever, right? So they will enroll into school there and find a job there. I want that to be that for Tampa. I want to, I want to be a producer. So I'm gonna go to Tampa and go to HCC and pick up on producing, because they have this there, they have that there. It's easy to collab and network, and you can come up, and I want that's kind of like the goal was for Tampa Bay Weekend.
Dang, man.
That's cool.
So that's
Yeah, year 3.
This is year 3?
Year 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
Oh, I'm excited. And what are the dates?
For this year is June 7th through the 9th.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and it's at multiple venues. So like Friday night's going to be at Lot 1901 in Ybor. We kind of try to keep it centered in the Ybor district.
Yeah.
So it's going to be at Lot 1901 Friday. Saturday it's going to be at 2 different locations. The beat battle is later in the evening at Crowbar, but we have a day party with Native Instruments, which is like a very popular like producer platform for like beat machines and whatnot. We're doing a day party with them at in the Hyde Park at Social Status.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so just doing like a kickback
Nice.
day party
Yeah.
before the beat battle, and then Sunday everything's going to be at the Bricks, which is my resident location for BeatsNChill.
Nice.
So
Dang. All right, so
That is so
listeners and
exciting.
viewers, you guys know what to do.
yeah, just go to TampaBayWeekend.com. All the information's on there.
So, very cool.
Wow. So, are you born and raised in Tampa?
Absolutely.
Wow. You don't hear that anymore,
Yeah,
right.
ever. I
Yeah.
never hear anyone from Tampa, like
Right.
actually from Tampa.
Exactly. Yeah, which is kind of went with the name hometown.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
yeah.
So it's like,
Okay.
it really is your hometown. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
so you've seen it, like we like talking to people like about this, because like we just came to, like, Marissa's from the Tampa area, but we both
Yeah.
met in Fort Myers,
Mhm.
and then we just moved back here once we're doing this full time back in July.
Mhm.
So like we're still relatively new to the Tampa scene,
Right.
but like we've seen it grow like a crazy amount in the past couple of months that we've just been here.
Like
Right.
less than a year.
Less than a
even.
year.
Mhm.
So like I can only imagine like what have you seen the
Um,
changes as far as Tampa goes?
I mean, just from going to school here, like in high school,
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Tampa Bay Tech.
Okay.
And everyone that lives here, whether you're from here or not, knows someone who went to Tampa Bay Tech.
Yeah,
Remember who was
yeah,
that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just more schools out here. It's like more high schools have been built. They're still building more high schools. Seeing a change in Busch Gardens. Like, I used to work at Busch
Right?
Gardens.
That's crazy.
I used to work there, and it was like,
You got in for free and stuff?
yeah, I recently went. I recently
Well, I
went
just want
to.
to know.
I recently went to Busch Gardens, and I was like, I don't remember this. Like, what is
I
this?
feel like Busch Gardens. I went to middle school and high school here, and we moved from New Jersey. Busch Gardens used to be way cheaper
Yeah.
than it is right now.
Yeah.
I came back and I was like, what is going on? Like,
Yeah.
why is it above $100?
Right. That's why they.
Busch Gardens.
And that's why they'll deal you with the whole pay for one day, come back the whole year.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, you're paying a whole year price, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just seeing a change in like the theme parks, right? And then also, getting older and getting out to partying in clubs and stuff like that. And like, it was a very heavy like nightlife, like club scene at first. And that's kind of died down. Like, for whatever reason, the club scene kind of died down a lot. And then it became just more into more bars, and then the hookahs, and then the venues started doing like more art shows and stuff like that. The art wave came in, and that's kind of like where we're at now. But now you have like Armature Works, which we have these huge platforms, but no one hasn't really taken advantage of how to like use those yet, right?
That's true.
But it's nice though. I like where it's going, and like I said, the cool thing is having kind of like that intellectual property of like the ideas that people know, like Tampa Bay Weekend, BeatsNChill. As those grow and the city grows, people are gonna like, well, we would love to have BeatsNChill here. We would love to have Tampa Bay Weekend
That's
at
powerful.
Armature Works. You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I've noticed, and just like I said, just studying the environment, which is always key with throwing an event. So Yeah.
Wow.
Like that. So,
How long have Wow, I had a whole question.
happens all the time. Like, it's just
like I just went in on that, and then I was like, it's gone.
Dang. Happens all the time.
I went in with such like
I know. I'm
certainty.
like, all right,
Yeah,
let's
she
just
was
take
like-
over that one. Dang.
Nope.
No, just poop.
Just prove it. It'll come back.
Dang. Well, while she's waiting on that, as far as like having
It's yours 'cause
no,
it's
I just want to like make sure I worded it right. Like, so are you doing this all by yourself, or do you have like a solid team? And if so, what are the main components of like having a team that can do this type of stuff?
Well, it's like yes and no, right? So basically, how I mentioned at first, like I start off, I kind of like manage a collective of like artists, producers, DJs, and photographers, right? That collective is called Blue Zone, which is like the first thing we started out with, just like a makeshift music label. Out of that huge umbrella, BeatsNChill was started directly from me, right? Like that's my baby, right?
Yeah.
But then other guys in the camp, they started their own podcast, Homebros podcast. Then we have the Comics and Convo events, and then music events, and then we have like photographers who do their thing. Have like my guy Tyree, goes by Sheba's Narc on Instagram, but he's a photographer and he has an annual barbecue every year in July called Freaky Frank Barbecue. That's like his alter ego.
That's
He does like this
cool.
weird deep voice on all of our like records, like a radio personality.
Sound
But-
tag, I like it.
yeah, but
That's cool.
but we all kind of like work together. So I started BeatsNChill by myself, but I have like a small team, like me and my DJ Raul the Fool, and one of my producers, 44. We directly work together with BeatsNChill, but like usually my guys will come, like Tyro will come and do photos of
Gotcha.
my event or video or whatever. My boy George Goldberg, he'll come out and do some film, but it's not
Oh, I
necessarily.
think we
they-
met George.
Yeah.
yeah, he's
He's the
part
one with like, he has like the big roll in him. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, so but yeah, so like these guys they help out, but as far as BeatsNChill, it's mainly that small group, me and my DJ and 44, but I kind of like pretty much run the whole
Yeah, you're kind of
Play
like
through
the
everyone.
organizer. Like, all right, this is
yeah. So it's just a lot of
the
hats.
strat.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to do better with communication. Like, bro, just tell me what you want me to do. Like,
Yeah.
I have to be like, yo, you know. So, but yeah, that's pretty much how that runs. And with Tampa Bay Weekend, I actually have like a co-founder, which is my partner, Kenna. He's another like person, kind of like mirrors the same thing I do. He's just 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
He's, you know, an artist. He also organizes events. He does a lot of things with like management with other artists and stuff. And we came together back in 2016, 2017, and was like, I said, hey, I always want to do something festive. I want to do something festive for the summer with BeatsNChill. We kind of just threw a bunch of wacky ideas together, and we landed with a 3-day Tampa Bay Weekend. So
That's really cool.
yeah,
Dude.
I could definitely see that like blowing up.
I wanted to.
Because like
Yeah, dude.
Tampa itself is blowing up, so like
Mhm.
just all the flood of people that's coming in here, like I could
Right.
definitely see like your event like taking off.
Yeah, I mean that's the vision. We, like I said, we wanted to grow into so much more, and right now we wanted to figure out what was the skeleton of it all, and what we can control, and then grow from that. You know, so people are believing in it, and people like it. People ask about it throughout the year, and it just makes us feel good and gives us that confidence to know that we're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, I personally like the fact that my whole idea for doing it is to bring the biggest spotlight to the producer community. It's not like, man, this is gonna make me a millionaire, or this is gonna, you know, I'm not even thinking about like how much I'm gonna make from like selling this or nothing. It's just my whole goal is to how big can I make the spotlight on the producer community in Tampa. That's it.
I love that.
Yeah. So
That's
And-
so cool.
yeah, my whole team is, like I said, that Blue Zone team is, I have like 6 producers. So that kind of like help inspire the idea. Because I see these guys make beats at the crib all the time.
Yeah, and you're just
Right.
like inspired by the
Yeah,
grind.
Like,
yeah.
man, I wonder what it would be like if they did this on stage and other people saw this.
Wow.
Damn.
Right.
That's crazy. All right, guys, so we're going to take a quick pause just
true.
because we have to reset these cameras.
Yes.
And then we'll keep on going. So enjoy these commercial breaks. We'll be right back.
Yes, for those of you who saw the podcast last week and have a fine attention to detail, I am wearing a very, very similar outfit, but it's summertime. And just to stay in theme with the podcast, we're gonna have a look at that last dose Cocos Locos pop-up. And again, we're gonna be doing something really soon. So stay tuned. Man, this stuff is awesome. Keep it up. Summer. Enjoy it.
Alright guys, and we're back. So one thing why we hate having to pause our cameras is literally almost every time we have like an additional podcast outside the podcast, and we just had one with Derek right now. He just dropped like so
much knowledge.
He just
about
blew our
podcasts.
minds about podcasts, and we're like, wow, we didn't even think about that. So Derek, aka I Am Hometown, if you don't mind, re-saying everything you just said.
Nah, man. Podcasting, man. Like I said, working with podcasts. I work with Back Talk Podcast, and these two girls, they're amazing. Like you can't buy chemistry with people. Mm-hmm. So when you're able to have that, and they're able to create your own platform like you guys have, mm-hmm. right? The more niche, the better. So the more niche, the better it is to navigate on who your following is, because that's going to help you grow this platform. The podcast can be all the things in media as one. It can be a live talk show, definitely with film, right? Radio show, everything, and have the advertisements and stuff like that. Yeah. And advertisement is just a small piece of like what you can do to monetize it, right? Yeah. But then now you're able to put it on like the streaming platforms, right? So you're able to actually monetize because it's on streaming platforms. You can make merch, right? Like just the design of this stuff right here. Yes. Like people might want to, if you were to do a live show, getting like a bigger like light up palm tree or something like that to kind of fit the aesthetic. Like people love that, right? Doing live shows, it's just so much you can do. And I think like with the podcast world and where it's going, it's like it's so cool to find like an interesting podcast because you can kind of see how they're growing and where their audience helps them go.
Gotcha.
You know, so
yeah. So because like you said that they even have like podcast festivals, and we didn't know this was a thing.
That's exciting.
I found out. I found out last year because I listened to a few podcasts, like a lot, besides the ones I work with, and
which are what?
I listen to Brilliant Idiots. That's my like guilty pleasure. Listen to Brilliant Idiots. I listen to Flagrant 2. That's another guilty pleasure. But I also listen to. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. All right, I know those are the main two I listen to. Yeah. Those are the main two I listen to. But those are very more like popular podcasts, and they have mentioned about, you know, they'll go over their announcements like, hey, we're going to be doing a live show at New Podcast Festival, this, that, and the third. It's like, oh snap! And then I recently just went to the Joe Budden podcast. That's another one I listen to. I went to the live show they had in Tampa just a couple of weeks ago. And or earlier in May, and just seeing that, I've never been to a live podcast show, and seeing how like watching them all the time on YouTube, and then how they took the aesthetics from YouTube and placed it on stage in a cool way.
That's cool,
right?
I would never think to do a podcast live in front of other people.
Yeah, because like literally, because literally it's just a table, microphones, you're talking, but like then you have. Then you saw what you said, like you can bring someone from the crowd to jump in on the podcast.
Like Q&A, like that's...
Yeah, they did like a Q&A at the end. Like they had, like I said, the things that build up naturally in the show, like with the Joe Budden podcast, like of course Joe Budden is like married or engaged, and then like other co-hosts, the dude Rory is just engaged, like he's been in a relationship. So the other guy Maul is known to being single. So for their live show, they do like a funny thing because he doesn't like for them to try to hook him up with people.
Okay.
So for the live show, they did this thing called For the Love of Maul. They
funny.
blindfold him and they pick like 3 random girls and do like some love connection thing live on stage.
Yeah.
And it was like a moment because it comes directly from the show. It's not something they just made up for the live show.
Because you can't plan that.
Right.
Yeah.
It was based on the chemistry and based on the connections and the small little stories in between the people on the show. And they brought that to the live stage that we already know about.
Yeah.
So it was just a great moment. And that's what, and it all comes from a podcast.
Yeah. And that's crazy too. It gives the fans an experience that they'll never freaking forget. Because they're like, I was there.
Right.
Look at this. And like this happened.
And I mean, and with podcasts, like I notice like when I'm listening to certain podcasts, I'm like I feel like I'm in a room listening. Yeah. So when you actually put me in the room, it's like,
you're like, oh shit.
Like, oh.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Dang. And then you listen to it later, then you're in a room while you were in the room. Dang, bro. Well, thank you for that. Because like,
for real.
That just, you got the brain spinning now.
I'm like,
see the wheels turning.
Yeah. Dang, bro. Wow. That's crazy.
That's
dude.
cool.
Dang. So is there anything else that you would like to add as far as what you would like to say to the audience or stuff like that?
And then we have one more question.
Yeah, because we have one more question.
I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
Okay. What I would like to say to the audience, I don't know, man. Come to Tampa Bay Weekend.
Yes.
Come say hi. Come to Beats and Chill. Every month. I recently posted on Twitter. I never had like more than 100 retweets.
Yeah.
But I recently posted something on Twitter like in all caps. I don't know why I did all caps, but
sometimes you just feel it. Yeah, I feel like a whole cap move.
But,
in all caps.
But I said I just said I want this summer in Tampa to be like fun. Like we have everything that we need in Tampa.
Yeah.
Like we have everything that we need. We have all the resources that we need, right? And on top of that, we live by a beach.
Yep.
Right? So I was like, we should, for the people who throw events, the people who have anything to do with anything in entertainment in the city of Tampa, right? Bust your ass and like make this summer like dope. Special. Yeah. Make it dope. Like I want people to be like, yo, I'm going to Tampa this summer.
Yeah.
Like make it that, because I'm doing everything that I can to do that, to kick it off in June. Yeah. I want to see everybody else because I want to go out. I want to not just stay in the house. I've been staying in the house all year and only come out for my event. I want to come out this summer and have a good time. Yeah. All the brunches, block parties, backyard parties, pool parties, whatever, art shows, like pop-ups, just really try to like kill it this summer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that's one thing I want to say.
Freaking hyping me up, man. I'm like,
right?
This is our first summer, so we're like, we don't know what to expect, so let's go. But dang, man.
That's cool.
That's wild.
Oh, we got to get some stuff going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got some stuff.
We got some stuff coming up in the works, too. So,
yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. But you want to ask
cool.
the last question?
Okay, so our last question is, we have a first question and a last question. So our last question is, what is something, because we like to keep it real on this podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
What is something that you're currently struggling with? And what's something that someone right now can help you with? Okay.
What I'm currently struggling with is discipline. I really like video games.
Same, yeah.
I really like...
What kind of video games?
It depends. It depends. I really love NBA 2K, but I really like last night I was supposed to go to bed early. But me and my homie got caught up playing Call of Duty. It was like this zombie mode. Like we was like in it. Yeah. I was like, yo, it's 2:30 right now. But I really love video games, and I have to discipline myself. Like it's hard to tell yourself as an adult, like no, like
But nowadays, like you can make a living off of video games. Like, have you heard of Ninja? Do you know who Ninja is?
No. And Twitch,
bro.
I heard of Twitch.
Okay, so
Ninja
he's like one of
is Twitch basically.
Nah, I wouldn't say that, but he's a pretty high player. This kid, I think he's like, I don't know how old he is.
No, he's like our age, I think.
Nah, I don't know how old he is. He's young. He's pretty young. But he gets basically paid to play video games on Twitch. And he makes about...
Guess how much he makes.
A month. Guess how much he makes a month.
Just like throwing
like Fortnite, I think he plays Apex now.
Based on your eyebrows, I feel like you're finna say a big number. So I'm gonna go with
yeah, like guess how much money.
I'm gonna go with 10 grand.
Bro. No. All right, here we go.
That is pocket change to him. pocket change.
Okay.
Guess how much he makes? $500,000
A month.
a month.
Just to say it again to the listeners, $500,000 a month,
My God.
bro.
Dude,
Right?
like what? That's just from his sponsorships. That maybe he'll pay him money,
500. I would look like Jabba the Hutt playing video games.
right?
They pay $500,000 a month.
Dude,
$500,000
yeah. So that's just crazy. That's something that,
Just video games and
bro.
Uber Eats.
Yeah.
forever and ever.
Dude, for real. So
About
Damn.
that.
that's crazy to us.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Right,
That's
Twitch.
inspiring.
So like, get on Twitch.
Because
Yeah.
I've been trying to jump on. I've been talking about it for like the longest time because I just.
For real, too long. He's been talking about
But
this.
because like that's just like another thing that I feel like would be kind of cool to just check out. You know? Because like why not? Like why not? You know.
But like when you're playing the games, people can send like people who are watching.
Yeah,
you,
Right.
they can
can
donate
send
money,
you money.
to you,
Mm.
and then all you do is like you're playing. You're like, oh, thank you so much, XX.
And they can like see your
whatever.
face and everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So that's the one thing.
Yeah.
I know that I look crazy when I'm playing. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know
People
how
like that, though.
crazy.
People
I look.
enjoy that.
Yeah,
they
people
enjoy
like people
the
like it when
banter.
they rage and then like throw the controllers and stuff. 'Cause people like that. They like people being people, just
Right.
playing
Yeah.
games. So
True.
if that's something that might be something you might want to look into.
So
Oh,
like if you lack discipline in playing your games, keep playing them. And just
That's
get
what-
on Twitch.
There, we just solved your own
We
problem.
just solved the whole problem. Now you can get paid.
There it is. There it is.
Dang, but no, I
Yeah.
understand though. Discipline is
Yeah.
very difficult. Very difficult. We wish we knew the answer, but
We do not.
we really don't.
Yeah.
We're still,
The answer
we're still
is-
going through it.
Right.
Dang.
Man,
So what's one thing someone can help you with right now?
something that someone can help me with right now. I would say someone could help me with right now is how to I guess do graphic design. I'm like horrible. Any type of thing that requires editing with my hands, I'm horrible at. Only thing I could probably edit is like a paper. Like I can't do any graphic design. I can't do any film, like anything. So like if someone could like really do like some hands-on, like yo, this is what you do on the simplest form. Like my biggest achievement was creating the BeatsNChill logo, and I literally made that on Snapchat.
Well, no,
Really?
really?
Yeah.
Dude, it's such a cool logo though. I like
I know.
it because I'm like, damn. I was looking at like, damn, that's dope. I don't know. Was it based off of something else? Because like for some, was it Adult Swim? Was it Adult Swim? type of thing?
Literally, I watch like I keep my TV on like Cartoon Network and
Yeah,
like ESPN. Like Last is going back and
Yeah,
forth
yeah,
to
yeah.
that, right? So like if I'm playing video games late, I don't like to sleep without my TV on, so I just cut on like Adult Swim.
Okay.
And I don't know why I do that. 'Cause I wake up to like crazy stuff.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, your dreams
Yeah.
must be
But
fun.
I always wanted my event to kind of provide that same coolness that I thought that Adult Swim commercials brought. Like every Adult Swim commercial was like some of the best like
Yeah.
music you hear, right?
Yeah.
And I just always thought the logo was dope. So I kind of like took their logo and just made it BeatsNChill.
I love that, dude.
Wow,
Damn.
that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Okay,
Because that's
cool.
literally the first thing I thought too. I'm like,
Wow.
oh, that's dope. I'm like,
Yeah.
why is that dope? And I was just analyzing. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, that looks like dope.
Right?
So, yeah.
I took the term from like Netflix and chill, like how that was a thing, and I took BeatsNChill and then with the Adult Swim.
Smart.
Right.
Man. You
Wow.
are smart. I love
Snapchat,
that.
man. Shout out to Snapchat.
Shout out to Snapchat. Although you're basically dead. It's okay. It's okay. We
Still got some
appreciated you.
gems.
Right?
Dang, well, Derek, aka like the video people
Oh,
can see
yeah.
it, but for the audio
Yeah.
listeners, IAMHTWN.
Yes, on
I
Instagram.
am, yeah, on Instagram. I am Hometown. Make sure
And
to
Twitter.
follow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Twitter.
Twitter. Okay, cool.
Okay, it'll be on like
yeah,
the bio
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. We'll
too.
put it in the bio.
Yeah.
Thank you so much once again for
Yes.
being
Thank
a
you.
guest, like sharing your time here. We really appreciate it, man.
Man, it was a pleasure, man.
Dude, we're hyped up now. We're ready
I
for
know.
summer.
We're gonna do some events now.
Yeah,
We gotta do
yeah.
some stuff.
We're like,
And make Tampa it.
Oh
Yeah.
man, 100
Yeah.
retweets, bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
Yes.
wild. Congrats.
Yeah.
That's dope. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening, watching, all that fun jazz. Make
Yeah.
sure to subscribe, like, share,
Review.
or view. Yes.
Review.
Oh, review.
Yeah.
Yeah, review.
Or both, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Review it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And if you're still listening to the end of this podcast, drop us like
A
music.
music note.
Yeah, a music note
Yeah.
in the DMs, so we can know who the real peeps are out there.
For sure.
real. All right, guys, take it easy. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Peace. Before we end this podcast, I just want to give a huge shout out to EV47. He's the one that made the beat for the beginning and end of this podcast. So you should definitely check him out because he's dope. And yeah, peace.
Yes.